Hey, this is Hans from Dakota Angler and Outfitter. Today we're going to tie a version of a fly that we buy from Solitude Fly Company that's very effective, called a tungsten jig assassin. I'm just going to make a couple substitutions, but it's pretty much the exact same fly. I've got a Syndicate 400 BK jig nymph hook in the vise, and I've got a slotted tungsten bead. This happens to be a size 12 with a 3.5 millimeter bead. And I've got some 16-aught thread wrapped to the back of the hook. You don't have to use the 16-aught, you could use 70 denier. I just like how little bulk the 16-aught adds. I mean, it lays so flat that you can make extra thread wraps and not worry about it. The tail on this fly is coq de leon, and I want about a hook shank length. Tie that in at the back here, eyeball it, there we go. Tie down the hook shank. Trim off our excess. And then we will go back to the tie-in point at the back. Now the version from Solitude uses thread with a wire rib. I like these strip peacock quills from Polish Quills, and I'm going to use kind of a weird color today just to show you the variety in the colors of these flies, or these quills, and what they can do. This is turquoise. It's kind of a cool blue-green color that really looks great underwater. Tied that in. I trimmed off a little bit of the end of it so it's getting to the area where it's starting to widen a little bit here. Go back, and I should have showed you that first, but there's a really skinny end, and trim that off so I get some wider part of the quill, so I get a little better segmentation starting at the back of the fly. Go about 2/3 of the way forward. I'm going to wrap the quill. Nice tight wraps. These quills are neat because they come in so many different shades. There's turquoise, pink, red, all the natural colors. And you can just, tie the same fly in a variety of different color shades, just depending on the mood of the fish, I guess. That one's starting to split a little bit, but what I will do, now that I've got that wrap for the body, take a little UV resin. Either use hydro or any other thin UV resin. Just coat those quills. With a nice thin layer of it, and that really makes that segmentation jump out. Once that's on there, of course, you got to cure it. So hit that with your UV lamp for a minute. Make sure that's nicely set. Probably could stand just a little bit longer, but in the interest of time, I'll keep tying. Now we're going to do a thorax. I'm just going to use some Hare's Ear Plus dubbing or Nature Spirit Hare's Mask dubbing. Build up a nice little ball of a thorax. Catch any little fibers that want to come loose. So now you've got your thorax tied in, and now we're going to do a little soft tackle of CDC. I'm just going to take, this is kind of a dark dun natural CDC feather. I'm going to strip, or just not strip, but fold back the fibers at the front so that I'm left with kind of a little triangle there. Trim off some of those fibers on that triangle and tie that in. And then just fold those fibers back so they want to sweep back instead of getting caught up. Just wrap 2 or 3 wraps to give it a little CDC collar. Tie off that feather. Trim off your excess. You'll get some nice long CDC legs that really add movement to the fly, and fish really seem to like those long CDC legs on these jig flies. So now that you're done with your CDC soft tackle, do your whip finish right behind the bead. Throw in another one if you want for a good measure. And that's it. Put a little head cement on that to make sure it lasts a little longer. And you've got a great go-to jig pattern with lots of movement in the water. You can vary the color of those Polish quills that you use to come up with any number of color combinations. And a very versatile fly. Tie it in sizes 12, 14, and 16 and you'll be ready to catch fish just about anywhere. Have a couple different colors in your box. Olive is a good starting color. And then add kind of a brighter color to the mix for, you know, a second option to fish. I'm Hans from Dakota Angler and Outfitter. We just finished tying the tungsten jig assassin nymph. Check out our website for more videos, flyfishsd.com. Thanks for watching.